Glenda Jackson thrilling a theatre, bringing them to their feet. People talking about even possibly the best King Lear they've ever seen in terms of the person playing it. I mean, what did it feel like being back?
I was surprised at how familiar it was, actually. I don't mean the actual performance, because that's always different every night. Well, that in itself is also a familiarity. Someone said to me, "You'll be okay, it's like riding a bike." And I said, no, I think it's slightly more difficult than riding a bike. But the essential generosity of actors and the kind of willingness of the theatre to accept you stays strong and real, and that made a big difference.
What was it that took you off the stage? Just a yearning for politics, or had you had enough of the job?
Anything I could have done at that time to have legally got rid of Margaret Thatcher and her government, I was prepared to have a go at. To stop what I saw and still believe was the destruction of the social interaction within our country.
Greed, selfishness, no care for the weaker, sharp elbows, sharp knees. They were the way forward, but a woman not on my terms.
But that passion that has sustained you from your last appearance on the stage 25 odd years ago to today is as strong as the passion which somehow drove you to compete to destroy Margaret Thatcher.
My life and lives like mine were transformed by that Labour government of 1945. A social dream was made a social reality. And that has informed, I think, all my life, and I strongly believe in the basic principles of the Labour Party.
I understand your political passion, but I can't imagine what it can be like, in a sense, to suppress this massive theatrical capacity for all that time and then come back and release it again.
You forget the play in which I came back. It's probably the greatest play that has ever been written, and it has an energy all of its own. In a strange sense, I was in solitary confinement with it for quite a long time before we started rehearsing. And when you are in that situation and you eschew all the reports of how it's been done in the past, what it means, what it's actually all about, it is the most extraordinary play. There isn't a dull, ordinary character anywhere in that play. And the whole process of the play is the way they are sort of unpeeled before your very eyes. These characters you think you know to begin with, at the end they're completely different. It's a privilege to be allowed to tackle that play.
But now that you've, as it were, re-entered the world in which we knew and loved you and admired you, how do you feel about the Labour Party now?
Is there a Labour Party now?
I ask you.
I don't know. I think what we're doing at the moment beggars belief. I think it would be nice if someone could take a decision and stand by that decision.
Jeremy Corbyn?
I'm deeply fond of Jeremy. I wrote to him when I didn't stand at the last election, and it was absolutely true to say my regret, apart from not being in my constituency anymore, was that I couldn't put him on the ballot paper for leader, because one of my beliefs is that the Labour Party should always have a left-wing representative on it. Never in a million years thinking he would be elected. Dress leadership up in any way you like, but essentially it's for people to say, this is the decision we're making, we've argued with you, we've debated with you, this is what the party agrees with. At the moment it just seems to be a lot of meetings and nothing coming out of it. This country at the moment is in one of the most extraordinary situations of its history. Here we are poised to come out of Europe. I don't agree with many of her policies. I don't necessarily agree with some of the things she's doing, but the one thing you can't take away from our Prime Minister is that she's very clearly a grown-up, and that I think is very important. And I think having a grown-up who can see and hear alternative positions, ideas, arguments is something we have to have, not only in this country, but I think internationally as well, to stand behind some ideological banner or placard and say, in effect, well, I'm going to die in a ditch for this, without considering how many other people may die in that ditch with you, is absolutely not the way forward for the world.
Then does Labour need a grown-up?
It certainly does, yeah.
In the meantime, are you back?
One of the things that shocked me more than anything is that the situation, which was exactly the same throughout the whole of my professional acting life and the whole of the 25 years that I was out of it, is that creative writers don't find women interesting. They are rarely, if ever, the central, dramatic driving engine.
I have never said I would marry him. I have never said I would marry anyone. Never!
Your Majesty!
Enough!
And I find that quite bewildering. I don't know why. I think we're quite interesting. We're not an homogenous group. There
But
are
it's
great
not going to stop
varieties.
you.
Well, I mean, the thing that stops you is the stuff that's presented to you isn't worth doing. I mean, it's blood, sweat and tears going on that stage.
No, but we might as well recognise you're back because of Lear and because of Shakespeare.
Well, it would be nice if there was a sort of contemporaneous play of that quality around, yeah.
Glenda Jackson, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.